many years ago now when ISIS took over big chunks of Iraq, the Peshmerga were on the front lines, were taking heavy casualties, were fighting with incredible strength, and they weren't being paid, right? There wasn't enough money to pay them. So at that time I worked with Mr. Barzani to figure out a way to pay a force that wasn't, the Iraqi security forces, but was the Peshmerga. And we got money put aside that's still there that helps pay the Peshmerga. But part of that was a responsibility to combine KDP and PUK affiliated Peshmerga into one cohesive group. And there was a reform plan that was set up. And when I was just in Kurdistan in November, we talked a lot about the importance of that reform plan. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but it's really important, and we want to continue to see movement in a positive direction that way. I mean, look, it's very important that there's a plan, and this is what is so important, why it's so important to have leadership. We need leaders that are constantly pushing forward on hard things. I think reform is a hard thing. We'd always like to see it speed up. But I think they have a good plan. They just need to implement it. Yeah, we've been talking about this a lot. So I think it's incumbent on the State Department and the U.S. Congress to push for implementation of, first of all, what is dictated by the Iraqi Constitution, revenue sharing, particularly around oil, but also, as I understand it, a deal that Prime Minister Barzani and Prime Minister al-Sudani agreed to quite a while ago now that just isn't being implemented. So they have a deal there, they've made good progress, but now they need to implement, and we need to adhere to the Iraqi Constitution. I was in Iraq as a young officer when the Constitution was adopted, and now we need to live up to it. Iraq is blessed with many, many gifts, with many resources. Some countries would kill for those resources that Iraq has naturally. And so what we need to do is unleash the potential of Iraq. We need to get these constitutional issues worked out, revenue sharing worked out, Peshmerga reform worked out, and then the goal is people are desperately attracted to Iraq. So that's what we're working towards, and that's why these things need to be resolved.